Hello everyone, my name is Sniping is Fun, and welcome back to the 5 list on my series of videos for the 5 list of Season 2, and this will be the final, number 16 in Season 2. I mentioned that last time, in the last video when I did the 5 new card requests in Smash Bros. I just don't get. These are going to be the last 2 videos of Season 2, and I'm going to take a break, a hiatus, until probably around the summer, which I'll jump back in with Season 3. Do other videos in the meantime. But the 5 list, and you should know by the name of the video, the thumbnail and whatnot when I do change it, what it's about. I'm ending my Season 2 the way I started my Season 2, talking about a fighting game and 5 characters I think would be good DLC choices. I start off with 5 characters I think would be good DLC inclusions for Mortal Kombat 11. I'm ending with Dragonball Fighterz. We just got an announcement of Season 3 with Kefla and like all that, like, you know, Saiyan God, Instinct, Goku, and there's about 3 to 4 more, I think, on that list for the DLC. And this list right here is the 5 characters I think would be good choices for Season 3 DLC of Dragonball Fighterz. Without further ado, without this intro going on too long, let's get started with this list and go over basically this. I basically did a list like this in the Omega Season 1, but that was more like that was around the time Smash. I'm so used to talking about Smash now. But Dragon Ball Fighterz was being released. It wasn't even out yet. Characters I think should be on the roster, or early DLC days at least. But I separated up. Okay, I had one Dragon Ball character, one Dragon Ball Z character, I had a movie character, I had a GT character. I kind of did stuff like that. I did the same thing with this. I made sure to include every single thing except Super. But yeah, whatever. I basically included 2 of one of the categories not named Super. So without further ado, let's get this started with the 5 Dragon Ball characters I feel would make good choices for Dragon Ball Fighterz Season 3. The first one, I actually think would make a lot of sense, and it's surprising because he gets so little treatment, and he is the main character's brother. Raditz. Why isn't Raditz in the game? Like, let's just include another Saiyan character. It's not another version of Goku and Vegeta. He could have an interesting moveset with like the double Sunday or whatever the heck else. He fights different than Nappa and Vegeta and Goku and whatnot. He has his own series of moves. He's the main character's brother, which he should be utilized a little more in the series. I basically did a list talking about underutilized Dragon Ball characters, and he was on that list. How could you have Nappa because he's just Vegeta's big partner? Bring him back in, but you can't have the main character's brother and Raditz? I'm sorry, like, I know he's not as interesting of a Saiyan as other characters, but he does have his own moveset, he does have his own fans, and in most Dragon Ball fighting games, like the 3D ones and whatnot, he's always included. It feels weird that he's not in this one. Can we please have Raditz in this game? Number 2. We'll go to a Dragon Ball GT character, and I know a lot of you, what you guys think about GT. I still liked it. I didn't think it was bad. It has its issues, but that's every single Dragon Ball anime, really. The first of 2. Yes, 2 of my characters on this list are GT characters. And the first one goes to Pan. Now, we don't have Pan in the regular canon sense in Super outside of her being a baby. But she is a young kid, teenager, in freaking GT, and she can fight, and she can do her own moves. She does fight differently than a lot of other Saiyans, and it's a secondary Saiyan character I have on this list. There's one more, too. Videl and Gohan's daughter, she can fight. She has an interesting daughter. She's probably one of the more interesting parts of GT, not named Trunks and whatnot, and a few of the villains. I think she deserves it. She has her own right. And like I mentioned with freaking, like, Raditz, she is in pretty much a lot of the other games that at least include ones that include GT characters. And I think she has an interesting moveset. It's another female character to the roster, which Dragon Ball doesn't have enough of those, really, to really include unless you want to throw in Launch or something. And I think she would make a fun inclusion, a nice representation of the GT, because we don't have any of those yet. And a warranted character, and it's a throwback to a series that really hasn't been utilized in anything Dragon Ball in a long freaking time. And it's a daughter, it's a family lineage kind of thing. Then you would have freaking Bardock, and then Goku, then Gohan, then Pan. Even if you want to throw, like, spruce her up and make her an original version where it's like kind of like what Super would be like if she's older, give us an insight of what Super Pan would be when she grows up. I don't care, but Pan is a warranted character, and I mentioned in my last list about Videl deserving it, and Videl finally got in because she was a deserving character. Can their daughter please get in too? Number 3 is going to go to a movie character, and last time I did this list, I talked about Janemba. Guess who's in Fighters now? Janemba! who's another major villain from the movies. And I was thinking, like, who should I pick? Who should I pick? Who should I pick? And the only one that really came to mind that probably would have an interesting moveset, he's probably one from one of the better Dragon Ball movies, and it would be cool to see him. And he's hardly in anything Dragon Ball oriented fighting. Anyways, we have Janemba and other stuff. We have a lot of these movie characters like Turles and other games. We really don't have too many games that have Bojack, besides maybe the occasional Tenkaichi or something. Bojack would be a cool choice. He's a cool villain. He represents like a race of people that we don't have yet. We have Namekians, Saiyans, Earthlings, cyborg androids, and everything. He's his own alien species. He was probably from one of the only Dragon Ball movies that could technically be considered canon, because it takes place after the Cell games, but before, Gohan grows up and the Buu stuff. It was an interesting battle between him, and it was like the one movie where Gohan is actually super relevant, being the only one there, and having to get support from his father, like in the afterlife. I think it'd be cool. He has a good moveset. He's a powerhouse character, so it could be like a Broly type character with some good energy blasts and stuff like that. I think Bojack, if you're for Dragon Ball Fighterz. Number 4 will be my secondary GT character in this list, and that goes to Baby Vegeta. Now, I put regular Baby Vegeta here when Baby first takes over Vegeta, but chances are Baby Vegeta ever gets into Dragon Ball Fighterz is going to be the Super Ultimate Armored Final Battle version of him. That could probably turn into the Super Gold Grade Ape. But I'd rather have this design because it's a little bit more cooler. But, silver-haired, evil, controlled Vegeta, which is a weird thing because Vegeta gets controlled Majin. He's just as easily to control, isn't he? But yeah, it'd be a cool move. It's another Vegeta, but it's not regular Vegeta. So it's like Goku has Goku Black, which is Goku's body, but Zamasu in his body. This is Baby in Vegeta's body. So we have Goku Black. Let's have Baby Vegeta, Super versus GT, evil versions of like two main characters. And I know it's another version of Vegeta, but he does baby moves, and he doesn't do as many Vegeta moves. So it's like a mix of Vegeta with other ultimate attacks you could throw into him. He's the first major villain, Baby, of GT. Maybe I would say he's a good choice to include, and if we do get one GT character only, he would probably be my choice over Pan. But I think Pan's is a cool addition because of her lineage being related to Goku and Gohan and Bardock and everything. And and almost all the families in there besides Chi-Chi and freaking like Raditz and whatnot. So the entire family's pretty much in there at this point and whatnot. So Baby Vegeta. Baby was the first major villain of GT. I thought he was probably the best villain of GT, which a lot of people agree with. But instead of having regular Baby, which doesn't really fight too much in the series, how about Baby Vegeta? And the last choice I have on this list, and he technically represents Dragon Ball more than everything else, but he is in Dragon Ball Z, in GT, in Super, in the movies, and he's just the classic character, and Goku learned fighting originally from him. Why can't Master Roshi be in this game? Can we please have Master Roshi in this game? You could represent some of the elements of, like, maybe Jackie Chun from Dragon Ball. He can have some elements from GT. He can have his Super form like this, which is Dragon Ball and Super. You can throw in some elements from the movies. He could be a big referential character that references all 4 series in multiple movies. He's Goku's original master. We have Krillin and Goku in there. Can we get their master, please, Namco? And I would say, Master Roshi. That's all I have to say. It's freaking Master Roshi. Why not have Master Roshi in the game? If there's one specific Dragon Ball character, even though he represents all of Dragon Ball, I would say Master Roshi deserves to be in Dragon Ball Fighterz. Because he's in other various fighting games, and he's the one that gets in certain ones, but doesn't get in others, but is a major important character in the series as a whole, that he should be included in more games. And that's it for the 5 Dragon Ball Fighter DLC Season 3 ideas I think would make good characters for, Season 3. The 5 Dragon Ball characters I think would make good ideas for Season 3 DLC of Dragon Ball Fighterz. And that's Master Roshi, Bojack, Baby Vegeta, Pan, and Raditz. Put in the comment section what you guys think. What characters do you want to see in Season 3 of Dragon Ball Fighterz? And of the 5 I mentioned, which of them would you want to see, and which would you say, I don't really care so much for them? Put in the comment section below. We discussed it down there. My name is One Piece. Please subscribe if you want to. Have a lovely day. And that's it for Season 2 of The 5 Lists. I thank you all for watching these videos, and when I finally return to Season 3, we are going to continue it yet again. Bye.